He is a transcendent talent. I mean, there's just been no one like it, certainly in either of our lifetimes, old though I may be. We're really focused on the internationalization of the game. It drives our business, it drives interest, and it's just, I can't overstate his significance.
大谷選手についてこのように語ったのは、MLB のトップに立つ人物、ロブ・マンフレッドコミッショナーです。30球団すべてを統括し、野球界の未来を動かす立場にある男が、たった一人の選手に向けて、これほどの言葉を繰り返し使い続けていることは、もはや異常事態です。では一体なぜ、大谷選手をここまで特別視するのでしょうか。その謎を解く鍵こそが、大谷選手だけが持つ、他の誰も真似できない5つの魅力にあります。ということで今回の動画では、MLB コミッショナーが語る大谷翔平だけが持つ5つの魅力と題して、なぜ MLB のトップがここまで大谷選手を特別視するのか、その理由をインタビューと共に紐解いていきます。大谷選手が成し遂げた偉業の歴史的な価値だけでなく、野球界の未来にどれほど大きな影響を与えているのかが、よくわかる内容となっていますので、ぜひ最後までお楽しみください。まず一つ目の魅力は、大谷選手の代名詞ともいえる二刀流です。野球というスポーツには100年以上の歴史があります。その長い歴史の中で、投手と打者を高いレベルで両立した選手は事実上存在しませんでした。野球の神様と称されるベーブ・ルース氏でさえ、投手として大活躍した後は打者に専念しました。それが当たり前で、どちらかに専念することが野球の常識として考えられていたからです。しかし大谷選手は、その不可能とされてきた常識を覆し、歴史の扉をこじ開けました。そしてその凄さを MLB が公式に認めた象徴的な出来事が2021年にありました。MLB コミッショナー特別表彰です。この賞は MLB の長い歴史の中でも、特に歴史的な功績を残したチームや個人にのみ贈られる非常に権威あるもの。1998年に始まって以来、受賞したのはわずか16の個人や団体のみで、日本人選手としては2004年にシーズン262安打のメジャー記録を打ち立てたイチロー氏以来の快挙でした。この特別な賞を7年ぶりに復活させ、大谷選手に贈ることを決定したマンフレッドコミッショナー。その理由について率直に語った授与式のスピーチをご覧ください。
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Stephen Nelson from MLB Network. Just want to welcome you all to the 2021 World Series. It's great to see a lot of faces in person. Hope you all made it here without issue. But 2021 has been a special year, I think, for Major League Baseball. You know, we got to see the return of fans in all 30 Major League ballparks, which was a welcome sight, and then so many incredible performances on the field. And I think we can all agree that the game is in great hands with the many young stars that we have ready to take care of the sport, and also the veterans. You know, I don't want to sell the Adam Wainwrights of the world short, but we also had the first ever Lou Gehrig Day, the MLB at Field of Dreams, which was the single most watched MLB regular season game since 1998. So just so many things to, you know, be proud of and be happy about if you're a baseball fan. But I think I speak for the majority, the vast majority of baseball lovers in saying that the most outstanding memory that we will have from 2021 was an individual performance that this game has never seen before, and to be honest, may never see again. And that belongs to this man, Shohei Ohtani. Yes, round of applause, please. 日本のメディアの皆様、こんばんは。MLB ネットワークのネルソン・エツオと申します。次はマンフレド・ロブス様が大谷選手に特別な発表がございます。下手な日本語で失礼いたしました。So without further ado, the 10th Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
Thank you, Stephen. Nice job with the Japanese. You're going to get graded later. Okay.
I'll leave it to Ipe. Yeah.
Those of us that are privileged to work in the game or cover the sport understand how much talent it takes to be a major league player, a position player, a pitcher. Every once in a while, you see a player who was so talented that at some point in his career, they had the luxury of deciding, do I want to be a pitcher or do I want to be a position player? It's really extraordinary to find a human being who can perform at the highest level in Major League Baseball as both a pitcher and a position player. It takes courage and fortitude not to make the choice that players traditionally make. And it takes tremendous endurance to do both over the course of what is a grueling 162-game schedule. In 2021, that extraordinary person came to us, and it was Shohei Ohtani. In 21, he put on an amazing performance for our fans here in the United States, in Japan, and really all around the world. I can't tell you the number of people who just tuned in to see every at-bat that you had over the course of the season, or the extra attention that was paid to every single start that you made. I know that it will be a very long time until there is a repeat of something that happened for the first time in the 88-year history of the All-Star Game. That is, that a player was selected both as a pitcher and a position player, and then the field manager selected him to start the game as the pitcher. I mean, it's really an unbelievable set of accomplishments. Over the next few years, I know that there are going to be many, many awards and accolades that come your way. But I felt that 2021 was so special that it was important to recognize the historic achievement that took place in 2021 with an award just about 2021. So for the first time since I've been commissioner, I'm very pleased to award the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award to Shohei Ohtani.
Thanks so much, Rob. With that, some words from Shohei.
本日はお集まりいただきありがとうございます。このような特別な賞をいただけて、すごく光栄に思っていますし、今シーズン、野球をして応援してくださったファンの皆さん、そして MLB 機構の皆さん、そしてエンジェルスの関係者の皆さん、すべての人に感謝しています。ありがとうございます。
Rob, how did this come together? Where did this idea come from for you?
Well, you know, I think it really started at the All-Star Game. The recognition that we were seeing something that had never happened in nearly 90 years. And then just as the season progressed and the excitement surrounding the achievements, the performance of Mr. Ohtani, we came to the conclusion as a group, really my whole senior management team, that it would be a mistake for us not to do something just to recognize this one season while we had the opportunity to do it.
For Rob, how important was what Shohei did this year just for the league as a whole and as a product?
Well, I think it was a huge timing benefit for us. Obviously, we had a very extensive effort directed at the internationalization of the game, things like London that was truncated by the pandemic, and to have an international star like Shohei emerge this year was kind of perfect timing for us because it helped us continue to grow the game internationally, which, you know, one of our foremost goals. So the timing of it was perfect for us.
いかがでしたか？ MLB のトップが就任以来初めてこの賞を復活させてまで表彰に踏み切った。それほどまでに大谷選手の2021年シーズンは野球の歴史に刻まれるものだったのですね。そして大谷選手への評価は年を追うごとにさらに高まっていきます。2022年、大谷選手はこの年も投打二刀流でフルシーズンを戦い、打者として34本塁打、投手として15勝を記録しました。投打の両方で規定に到達するというベーブ・ルース氏でさえ成し遂げられなかった偉業を達成したこの年、マンフレッドコミッショナーは大谷選手の二刀流の異次元ぶりについて改めて語りました。その場面をご覧ください。
Yeah, I wonder, I brought up Aaron Judge's name, and to be fair, I can't bring up Aaron Judge's name without also bringing up Shohei Ohtani's name, who's doing something, maybe people saw it If this Babe Ruth guy really existed, I don't know. But he's doing something I know I've never seen before. And you're not old enough to have seen Babe Ruth play.
You're right.
You're close,
Yeah.
but you're not there. It's like when you guys take stock of what this guy does. I know you don't have a vote for MVP. It's easy to say, well, he's the obvious MVP. He's doing something as pitcher and hitter that alone would warrant being in the conversation. He's doing both. And then you have that juxtaposed against, what Aaron did, almost winning a Triple Crown this year. But, like, when you guys see Ohtani, what do you think? You're a baseball guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, we did a unique thing last year. We gave him the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award. He is a transcendent talent. I mean, there's just been no one like it, certainly in either of our lifetimes, old though I may be. The second thing I think that people forget about, look, we're really focused on the internationalization of the game. And to have a player from outside North America who's as great, maybe the best player in the game, is really important to those efforts. It drives our business, it drives interest, and it's just, I can't overstate his significance.
いかがでしたか？野球の神様と称されるベーブ・ルース氏と同じ文脈で語られるほどの存在として、マンフレッドコミッショナー自身が大谷選手を認識していることが伝わってきますね。さらに2025年10月、大谷選手はナ・リーグ優勝決定シリーズ第4戦で野球の歴史を塗り替えるパフォーマンスを披露しました。打っては3本塁打、投げては10奪三振。1試合で3本塁打と10奪三振を同時に達成したのは、MLB が誕生して以来、史上初の快挙でした。MLB 公式サイトも野球史上最高の試合の一つと絶賛したこの伝説の一戦について、マンフレッドコミッショナーが語った場面をご覧ください。
Hey, welcome back to First Things First. Tomorrow, World Series begins on Fox as Ohtani and the reigning champion Dodgers take on Vladdy Jr. and the Blue Jays. Game 1 of the World Series. Coverage begins tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Fox. Coverage now in studio. Commissioner Rob Manfred. Commissioner, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on what looks to be a wonderful World Series.
Yeah, we're really excited about the World Series. We've had a great playoff run-up. 2 really good teams, real international flavor to it, so we're excited about it.
So I want to dig in on the international flavor of everything. First 2-country World Series since 1993, and then I saw there are 13 international-born players, Canada, Cuba, DR, Mexico, Venezuela, Japan, of course. Right. Can you talk about how the game has grown globally, and this just feels like a true World Series?
Well, it always starts with players, right? And we've been fortunate to get players from around the world: Korea, Japan, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. But we've made a huge effort in recent years to take the game to other countries. Opened in Korea, opened again in Tokyo. We've played in London. We've been to Mexico multiple times. And that's how you build an international audience. And for us, the investment has really paid off in terms of viewing audiences. Really paid off.
One of those players internationally, of course, Shohei Ohtani. Did he just play the greatest baseball game ever?
Yeah, it was some baseball game, I have to tell you. I think that when you think about Ohtani, the 2 words that always come to the top of my mind is two-way, right? Some people have hit 3 home runs in postseason games, Reggie Jackson being the best example. But, to pitch like he pitched and hit 3 home runs at the same time, I just can't imagine somebody else doing it. Now, hopefully, he won't turn out to be a unicorn. Maybe we'll have another one someday. Cool. But he is a really special player.
Quickly along those lines, and because I've asked, ever since he got in the league, I've asked ex-players or current players is, do you see that maybe for a few players at least becoming something they can do? Because it's not unusual at the high school level to have a great pitcher who also is a phenomenal hitter, but then they get directed into one or the other. Do you think that he could change that?
I think that when you see a player like this who accomplishes these things, he clearly provides an advantage when you think about it, right? I mean, he's an offensive player and a pitcher at the same time, that people will be more open to the idea that this is possible. I think the limiting factor, like it always is in athletics, I mean, this guy is an unbelievable physical specimen. I mean, his physical tools are so impressive.
いかがでしたか？ ポストシーズンという最高の舞台で投打の両方で歴史的なパフォーマンスを見せる大谷選手だからこそ成し得る前代未聞の二刀流の凄みが伝わってきますね。2つ目の魅力は野球の国際化を一人で加速させてしまうほどの世界的なスター性です。マンフレッドコミッショナーが長年掲げてきた最重要テーマの一つに野球の国際化があります。アメリカ国内だけでなく世界中で野球の人気を高め新たなファンを獲得すること、これは MLB にとって競技の未来を左右する重要な戦略であり、ロンドンシリーズやメキシコシリーズなど海外での公式戦開催に力を入れてきた背景もここにあります。しかしコロナ禍の影響でその動きは一時縮小を余儀なくされていました。そんな中、大谷選手の活躍が国際化戦略に大きな追い風をもたらしたのです。2022年10月、マンフレッドコミッショナーは大谷選手が野球の国際化においていかに重要な存在であるかを具体的なデータを交えながら語りました。その場面をご覧ください。
Let's talk about another guy who had an unbelievable season, and that's Shohei Ohtani. I want to make sure I get this right. Marcus Stroman described him as a mythical god, which actually almost doesn't seem like an exaggeration. What does someone like him doing what he's doing mean for the sport?
Oh, he's massively important to the sport for two reasons. Number one, he's a transcendent talent, right? I mean, sports, professional sports are about great players, and he is one of the greatest. I think the second thing that sometimes gets overlooked a little bit is he's really important to the internationalization of our sport. It's vital that we attract and have players from other countries at the very top of our sport, and he certainly is that.
Yeah, is that quantifiable? Like the growth that someone like him is able to bring internationally? Is there data on just how much one player like that can make a difference?
Oh, the uptick in engagement as measured by ratings, activity on our apps and other digital devices, there's a measurable impact from Ohtani, particularly in the Far East.
All right.
いかがでしたか？視聴率やデジタルコンテンツのアクセス数など、大谷選手の影響力が具体的な数字として明確に現れているという事実は改めて驚かされますね。そしてこの国際的な熱狂は数字だけにとどまりませんでした。2025年3月、大谷選手がドジャースの選手として日本の開幕シリーズに登場した際、マンフレッドコミッショナー自身が現地を訪れ、その熱狂を肌で感じました。この日本開幕シリーズではグッズ売上が驚異の$4000万、約60億円を記録。スポンサー収益は前年の韓国シリーズと比べて 240% 増という桁違いの数字を叩き出しました。害虫にあふれる大谷選手の姿、そして日本国内の野球への影響について帰国後のインタビューで語った場面をご覧ください。
Hey, I want to ask you about Japan, though, because it was absolutely amazing. Two things that stood out. One, when Shohei and his appeal in the country, but when he go to the plate, dead silent. I mean, they were so engaged. How's his impact been with growing the sport over there?
I mean, just unbelievable. I mean, Harold, you saw it. You couldn't drive 3 blocks in Tokyo without seeing a picture of Shohei Ohtani. We met with the Japanese commissioner's office, and they actually said to us that Shohei and Japanese players in general coming to the U.S. has been a tremendous benefit to the growth of the game in Japan. They're attracting more young people, more great athletes to the game. The quality of the play in Japan has gone up. And, they set an attendance record last year. They do 56 million people in Japan. For a country that size, that's some sort of an accomplishment.
Yeah, and having seen that and the impact of what's going on over there, what's our plans for expanding and growing with Japan as we move forward?
Yeah, we came back and, sort of number one on our priority list. We know we're going back next year for the WBC. We almost certainly will play one of the early rounds in Tokyo. Usually what has happened in the WBC would be Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and another country. We're certainly going to repeat that. And, as soon as we get going on the next CBA, we're going to be looking to do a play plan with a lot of activity in Japan. We need to get back. We need to expand the number of teams that are attractive over there, but we need to be in that market on a regular basis.
いかがでしたか？現地を実際に訪れて目の当たりにした光景は、マンフレッドコミッショナーですら言葉を失うほどのものだったのですね。3つ目の魅力は、 ドジャースへの移籍によって世界規模へと爆発した圧倒的な影響力です。2023年オフ、大谷選手はエンゼルスからドジャースへと移籍しました。契約総額10年7億ドル、当時のメジャー史上最大の契約は世界中に衝撃を与えました。しかしマンフレッドコミッショナーが本当に驚いたのはその契約金額ではありません。移籍後に起きた影響力の爆発的な拡大でした。エンゼルス時代からすでに世界的スターだった大谷選手がドジャースという MLB を代表する名門球団に移籍したことで、その存在感はさらに別次元へと引き上げられました。移籍1年目の2024年、大谷選手は MLB 史上初となる 50-50 を達成し、最終的には54本塁打59盗塁という前人未到の記録を打ち立てました。そしてドジャースはワールドシリーズを制覇し、個人としてもチームとしてもこれ以上ない形で結果を残したのです。そしてその勢いのまま迎えた2025年の日本開幕シリーズ後、マンフレッドコミッショナーはその驚きについて率直に語りました。その場面をご覧ください。
That Rob Manfred comes in, currently in his third term as the Major League Baseball commissioner, and his sport now is rolling. It is humming, baby. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Padres. You know, years ago I had you on, and we talked about some of the concerns with baseball. All these years later, you have solved many of the riddles. But I just said being a baseball commissioner is different because there's been so many great books on baseball and the history is much richer than the NFL or the NBA. We talk about Sandy Koufax and Mantle. You do deal with baseball purists, and Goodell doesn't deal with a lot of football purists. Has it made these moves sometimes a little more difficult to make, that you kind of have a battle with all of them?
Look, our history and tradition is, great. It's good for the sport. It's part of our popularity, but it does make change more difficult. I think the key for us has been to listen to our fans, our current fans, and make changes that's consonant, consistent with what they're saying about the game.
Yeah. Are you surprised? Angels to the Dodgers, are you surprised by the global impact and the merchandising impact and the ratings impact immediately with Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I must admit I was a little surprised. I mean, he's been a great player since he entered the league, but the shift from the Angels to the Dodgers has really been explosive. I mean, he had a great year last year that added to it. And I think the fact that the Dodgers won was really important, but it has exploded. I was just in Japan for the opener. The level of interest and excitement there, Colin, just absolutely unbelievable.
いかがでしたか？ MLB のトップが素直に認めるほどの影響力の爆発。大谷選手の存在が野球界全体の景色を変えてしまったことがよくわかりますね。4つ目の魅力は、野球史上最高の瞬間を生み出してしまう唯一無二の存在感です。2023年3月、世界中の野球ファンが固唾を飲んで見守った瞬間がありました。 WBC 決勝、日本対アメリカ。試合は最終回、日本が1点リードして迎えた2アウトの場面。マウンドに上がったのは大谷選手、打席に立ったのはかつての同僚であり MLB を代表するスラッガーマイク・トラウト選手。この1打席が世界中の野球ファンの記憶に永遠に刻まれることになりました。試合によっては日本の全世帯の40から 50% 近くが視聴したとも言われるほど、この対決が持つ意味は特別なものでした。大谷選手がトラウト選手をスイーパーで空振り三振に仕留め、日本が3対2で優勝を飾るという映画のような結末。この歴史的な瞬間についてマンフレッドコミッショナーが語った場面をご覧ください。
Joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show once again. Always appreciate taking some time to talk baseball, one of our favorite sports, and obviously the man atop the flow chart of Major League Baseball. We always appreciated him taking the time to talk to us. He's the commissioner of Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred. How you doing, Commissioner?
I'm just great, Rich. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. I got to tell you, what a heck of a World Baseball Classic we just witnessed and what we just saw. And I'm wondering how it sat with you, Commissioner Manfred.
Rich, it was fantastic from my perspective. Obviously the matchup at the end, Japan versus U.S., great matchup. Otani versus Trout, unbelievable. But, there were things early that I loved as well. I think, Mike Trout taking a leadership role in terms of getting the very best players to participate on the U.S. team was huge for us. Some of the teams that, from countries that you don't ordinarily think of as baseball countries, actually winning games in the tournament, all great developments from our perspective. And the business piece of it, I mean, we just killed the licensing, viewership, attendance, all the way around.
And so what do you say to fans who are wondering why this happens? Why does this have to happen? And obviously fans of the New York Mets and the Houston Astros with Edwin Diaz and Jose Altuve getting hurt significantly in these contests might be the loudest voices in the room. What do you say to those fan bases, Commissioner?
Look, the WBC is about growing the game internationally. And, if you look at the level of interest that was generated in Japan during this event, throughout the event, we had nights where, over 40%, nearly 50% of the homes in Japan are tuned into the game. That's crucial for us. I mean, you can't, unless you want to be, just a North American kind of domestic sport, you have to play in this international arena. In terms of the injury issue, I think it's really important to focus on what the players said, to tell you the truth. I mean, after the injuries, they pointed out, look, people get hurt in spring training. I mean, we don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Right.
But, people get hurt in spring training too. And I think overall, nothing in life is all good. Overall, the massive benefits of this event outweigh the problems caused by injuries.
And the players themselves were talking. I mean, Mookie Betts was saying it's one of the greatest experiences he's ever had on a baseball diamond. All that said, do you think you're going to still need to twist some arms, figuratively, for the next one, 2026? Do you think
that the fact that players like Mookie and Mike Trout and Adam Wainwright went out and talked about this as being one of their greatest experiences in baseball, that will entice other players to participate? I also think you're going to see, particularly with respect to the U.S. team, that they're going to be looking to load up and win again. I really do believe that. The baseball players pretty competitive, Rich, and nobody likes to lose. So I think the event will continue to grow. I really do.
Well, I mean, like I was saying on my show, Commissioner, and I'll just repeat it here, Otani versus Trout was a bring the entire family into the room moment in my household. The entire family was there. We just called everyone in, like, let's go see this, and we were just on the edge of our seats the entire time. I mean, that's what it was.
We actually had gone downstairs to get ready to go on the field and award medals. And I'm standing there and I'm literally thinking, I can't believe this is actually happening. It's like one of those things, you could not ask for a better end to the tournament.
いかがでしたか？大谷選手がいるからこそ、野球は世界中の人々を熱狂させる舞台を作り出せるのだと、改めて感じさせられますね。5つ目の魅力は、野球の未来そのものを変えてしまうほどの伝説的な存在感です。2025年のワールドシリーズは、ドジャース対ブルージェイズという対戦でした。1993年以来、実に32年ぶりとなるカナダのチームのワールドシリーズ出場という歴史的なシリーズでもありました。国際出身選手が13人参加し、カナダ、キューバ、ドミニカ、メキシコ、ベネズエラ、そして日本と、まさにワールドシリーズという名にふさわしい顔ぶれが揃いました。そしてその中心に、大谷選手と山本由伸投手という2人の日本人選手がいました。2025年シーズン、大谷選手は打者として自己最多の55本塁打を記録し、投手としても二刀流に復帰、4度目の MVP を満票で受賞するという前人未到の偉業を達成しました。野球の観客動員数は3年連続で増加し、世界各地での公式戦開催も着実に広がっています。その流れの先にある野球の新しい未来について語った場面をご覧ください。
this is really, truly a World Series. Look where we are. You got Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto pitching in this game. Yep. This game is global at a level we've never seen before.
Yeah, we're blessed. Another great matchup in the World Series. And it does emphasize the international flavor of the game, the players from so many different countries. But, the idea of being back in Canada, it's a great thing for our game.
Has the WBC helped take it more global as well?
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting. When we were in Japan for the opener, the Japanese commissioner's office really forthcoming about the idea that the WBC, having more Japanese players playing in the big leagues, has actually helped their business in Japan. It attracts better athletes to the game. Their domestic game is stronger. And that's what growth is about at the end of the day.
3 straight years attendance has gone up. Do you see that continuing to go trending upwards?
Yeah, I hope so. I really do hope so. I think the game we're putting on the field is a better game as a result of the changes we made the last few years. But, it's not all the rule changes. I think the other thing that's really important to focus on is we have been blessed with really generational talent entering the game. It seems like every year we got a new crop, young guys that are making an immediate impact. Guys who have, 6 major league starts pitching the first game of the World Series. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
いかがでしたか？大谷選手という存在が野球界に与えた影響は、一人の選手の現役期間をはるかに超えて続いていく。そんなマンフレッドコミッショナーの確信が言葉の端々から伝わってきますね。さて、いかがでしたか？今回の動画では、MLB のトップであるマンフレッドコミッショナーが語る大谷選手だけが持つ5つの魅力をインタビューとともに紹介してきました。前代未聞の二刀流、野球の国際化を加速する世界的スター性、ドジャース移籍で爆発した影響力、野球史上最高の瞬間を生み出す存在感、そして野球の未来を変える伝説的な存在感。マンフレッドコミッショナーの言葉の一つ一つから、大谷選手が単なるスター選手ではなく、野球というスポーツの歴史と未来そのものを背負うキーパーソンとして見なされていることがお分かりいただけたかと思います。大谷選手はこれからも私たちの想像をはるかに超えるような伝説を作り続けてくれることでしょう。一人の選手が野球というスポーツそのものを動かしていく、そんな歴史の目撃者でいられることをファンとして誇りに思いますね。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。グッドボタン、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。